Okay, for anyone who is watching this here, whether it's on Twitch or whether it's going to be on YouTube later, I'm going to be sharing with you all what I call my crazy bio Doom Raid team. It's maybe not that crazy, but you guys know, and since I talk about Squirrel Girl a lot, we're going to be using her today here in my team. Well, I use her every day, actually. I love Squirrel Girl that much that I've inserted her into my raid team, and they're what I call the Young Warriors. Now, this is a bit of a combination of the Web Warriors and Squirrel Girl, because there's some synergy there with Miles and Squirrel Girl, and we need to clear this before that other person gets to it, because I want to show the boss notes. So we're going to be doing this here today in Doom Raid 2. We're going to be using my Young Warriors team. Now this is with now the team power is quite high, but actually Squirrel Girl is like 200k, so technically she's actually adding a significant amount of this team power. So it's closer to like a 600-ish K team, actually, if you were to remove Squirrel Girl and add, you know, my Spider Punk or something like this. So don't let that scare you. It's just my Squirrel Girl has some huge numbers here on her power level. But yeah, basically it's a 4-man Web Warriors team with Squirrel Girl, because I love to insert Squirrel Girl into whatever content that I can do, you know, when I'm playing. And, you know, because I'm not leveling up Spider Punk. I said it before, you know, I said it in my video when I was pulling for Spider-Punk that I have no intentions of raising Spider-Punk at this time. For 2 reasons. Because I don't want to spend the gold, because we're so close to a patch coming. And then the second one is I don't have enough Oz formula. So, you know, why... I can't do it anyways, even if I wanted to. So, as far as the gold is concerned, you know, why instead of keeping it at Gear Tier 12, which maybe I could use, I don't really need to, because I'm actually having fun, and I'm doing just as well without it. So, it doesn't really make that much of a difference for me, personally. I'm doing all the same stuff that I would normally, you know, ability block, Emma Frost there with the special. That's really important, actually, with Ghost Spider here. And it's just not that hard. It's pretty easy, all things considered, so... I really like Web Warriors, and yeah, you know, if you're having a great time with Spider-Punk, then that's good. You know, I just don't need to, is all, because it's an extra, you know, 13 million gold that I don't need to spend at this time. Probably at some time later on, I imagine I might need to, you know, later down for, like, Doom Raid 3. But as far as things are concerned right now, like, I just really don't need to do that, so it's not a big deal for me personally. I mean, honestly, like, it's so easy, I can just, like, kick anyone in the face and they'll end up falling over. It's not really a big deal here. Yeah, I mean, I don't have to think too hard, typically, when it comes to this. Which is nice, of course. There are some annoying enemies, but other than that, it's not really a big deal. They hit really, really hard, because you're using some of the main characters that you should be using anyways. You know, Scarlet Spider and Ghost Spider are the 2, you know, most important characters in terms of their passive, so really important to have on the team. But all that Spider-Punk gives you a few things, and you know, I've mentioned this before, is that Spider-Punk gives you, obviously, the activation of the passive, which is really important. You know, if you want to auto, if you want to go full auto, then, you know, that's what you want to do for that, you know, because that gives you the Ghost Spider passive, the Scarlet Spider passive that activates by having the full team on board. But you don't actually need to have it, so it's not a big deal. I like using my Squirrel Girl. I like the fact that I maxed out a Squirrel Girl and I can use her in my team for my raids, which, you know, saves me about 10 million gold at this point, or 10, 13 million for a maxed out character, because I don't actually need to raise Spider-Punk at this point. And she's so beefy. And actually, you know what? What's even better is that Squirrel Girl, as we know, is going to be getting a rework, or assumedly... Is that a word? Nah, that's not a word. Is that a word? As far as the Young Avengers go... that, you know, we're going to be seeing probably a little bit of a base stat increase, and possibly some kit rework. Maybe, we don't know, if Squirrel Girl, because she's one of the newer characters on the Young Avengers list. So it's possible that she might not actually see it, but there is a chance that she might. So if she does, then that makes her just even better at that point, which is great. So... so that'll be nice to see whether or not that does happen or not. As far as what I had, you know, my Squirrel Girl is maxed out, but if you're considering using Squirrel Girl like I am, I would at the very least make sure that you have Squirrel Girl's Squirrel Girl's special, because Squirrel Girl's special is what cleanses all negative stats effects, and that's really important. So if you're going to do any of them, I would at least do that. Get that ability block onto her by Lavelle, so she can't do her special to cleanse everyone else. And really just go around the board just kicking them in the face at that point. So I am really looking forward to the young... It's weird. I normally am never looking forward to a war team. The only reason I'm looking forward to in this case is because I already have a really highly built up Squirrel Girl. So I am kind of looking to see like what they can do for, you know, the Young Avengers war defense. I hate war defense teams. Trust me, I do. But this is a rare exception for me. Only because of my current investment as it sits. Otherwise, I would not be looking at it that way. But yes, we'll see, I guess, what happens with that team anyways. But, you know, any buff to Squirrel Girl will just make it even easier for me here than I already am. You know, if she gets some damage increase, I don't even know if she needs these things. But if she does, then it just makes all that much easier than what I'm already doing. So that's nice. Let's get some more debuffs going out here. Clear that stuff. Ghost Spider. Very great character. All those counterattacks, just so much damage, by the way. Let's get a blind on, what's his name? Can we chain around? Oh, we did get a chain. That's nice. Yeah, it kind of is. You know, I like it when there's a patch for me. When I have a 6 or 7 red star set of characters that are just really, really good, you know, that makes me feel good, because then I can actually get more excited about it in some ways. You know, it's like, I don't know. McMole and the Ravagers. He's really big into the Ravagers right now. We've been talking a lot about him and his Ravagers, so, you know, that's kind of me right now with, like, Squirrel Girl or with the Young Avengers, that kind of stuff. I just love inserting Squirrel Girl wherever I can into my content, so it's maybe not the best for everyone, obviously, but, you know, in some instances when I can make it work, that's when I really like it. I could be clearing this faster. I have a bad tendency of, you know, not being great at multitasking when I'm talking and doing all of that, so... I actually do clear the bio lane very quickly. It's just because I'm talking and reading chat and, you know, doing all that at the same time while I'm playing. But, yeah, I love... And I should have just killed... Yeah, I should have finished off by Lavelle here. I love using my Squirrel Girl. She's so beefy. Even she gets hit in the face by Lavelle's ult and, like, took, like, only, like, a third of her health. Maybe less. Like, she's got so much hit points. Squirrel Girl's great. Front and center on the victory pose. That's... Actually, you know what? That was weird. Because... What's her name? Tippy? She wasn't even there. It's because I'm playing in low graphics mode, I think. It's like, do you guys play low graphics mode with Iceman? And Iceman like stands up on the block, but the block's not there. That's what happens if you play in low graphics mode. Okay, we can get to the boss node before Sam did. That's great, okay. F you, Sam. We're getting to the boss first. So, the only problem here is that you need to make sure you land the ability block, of course, on Dr. Doom. Sometimes this is going to be a bit tricky. Usually it's not a problem though, if you play the game, if you play the level properly here. I normally wait actually for Doom to take his first turn before I ability block him, because it's only a 1-turn ability block here. So what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna hold it until next turn actually, and then I'm gonna spread all the debuffs around. I'm gonna try and get a Miles special on the second turn as well. We're gonna put some more debuffs around though. Some offense down. And oh, you know what? Actually, maybe I could have ability blocked. You know what? I think I may have screwed that up a little bit because I didn't realize my cooldowns. Okay, so that's gonna, yeah, okay. There we go. Okay, so he took the turn. What I could have done is I could have probably extended that with Miles' special had I done it in the first turn. I should have done that. I've had it in weird ways where I don't actually push him 50%, and so therefore the ability block falls off before he goes under 50%. I've had this happen before, so I didn't want to do it that time, but that's okay. We'll still get through him. He's not going to get his turn. Oh, wait. Yeah, Miles should be fine. We'll just knock back his turn bar. That's fine. He'll die. Doom falls. Kestrel needs some debuffs, actually. Where's my Scarlet Spider? There we go. Doom down. We're going to spread these debuffs. Ghost Spider is just so great. Ghost Spider MVP, really. She is the best. She's gonna cleanse those, isn't she? Damn it! Oh well. We'll cleanse that in a second with Squirrel Girl. There we go. Kestrel down. We'll cleanse this defense down. And then Spider-Man. You know, I even love OG Spider-Man. That chain is really, really good. His special chains around a lot. Let's get rid of that Sharon Carter. Honestly, at this point, I could probably just auto it. I mean, there's only 6 characters left, really. They did a really good job on the reworks, I think, in this patch. And that makes me really excited to see what's going to happen on some of the other reworks for the Young Avengers. And possibly if we're getting a Midnight Suns team, things like that. You know, all of that's really exciting to me, in my opinion. Because I think they did a really good job on reworking older characters. Whether it was Weapon X, whether it was Web Warriors, they did a really, really great job. So looking forward to that. Honestly, I can just put this in auto right now. So I mean, this is it. This is what I call the Young Warriors. I also have this team on War Defense. Believe it or not, I picked up 8 War Defenses this past 8 War Defense victories and combat castles on my last war using this team, because they would go in with a debuff heavy team. Squirrel Girl would cleanse that, and then boom, you guys are effed. So believe it or not, it's actually a pretty decent team, both in raids and in war. So because Squirrel Girl really makes up for that stuff that the characters lack, which is mass cleansing. So she's got not only the offense down AoE and some bleed, she's got some pretty decent damage. Her survivability is really good. She synergizes with Miles by giving Miles extra hit points, actually, which is pretty nice too. And she can cleanse everyone fully, which is really great. She's got a really good kit. I can't wait to see what Squirrel Girl does when she gets a rework or base stat adjustment. Whether or not it's going to be huge or not, I don't know. But, I mean, Squirrel Girl is a really great character, so consider using Squirrel Girl if you have really good red stars. If you got like a 5, 6, 7 red star Squirrel Girl, maybe you should actually consider gearing her up, because this might be the time to do so. But, yeah, that's my Young Warriors in Doom Raid 2 bio. This actually works at higher difficulties as well, and like I said, it's actually a pretty decent war team, so yeah, consider it.